Hello, can everyone hear me? Okay, we'll get started. Okay, right. So hi everyone, welcome. My name is Ailsa, if you've not met me before. This will be a power Vinyasa flow class. So lots of movement on the breath, stretching and strengthening the entire body. And today we'll be working with the theme of the water element. So sometimes yoga classes can be sequenced with different elements. So air, fire, and earth. And this time we're doing water. And it's linked to your hips, your legs, your hamstrings, that area, and this sacral chakra. So the energy center of ideas, creativity, emotions. So it's linked to that kind of sense of feeling, and we'll be linking lots of nice poses with fluid, almost watery movements. So I'll just check the chat to see you can hear me. Yep, great. Okay, so we'll start seated today. So you can be kneeling, you can be cross-legged, you can have the legs out in front of you. So just coming to whatever is comfortable for the body. And you can even sit your hips on a blanket or a block if you have one in your home, just to raise the hips above the knees. And then closing down the eyes. Lifting the shoulders, rolling them back and down. And then reaching the top of the head all the way up to the sky. Tucking the chin slightly so the back of the neck is long. Reaching the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And just taking a few moments to allow your attention to arrive on the mat. So observing the rise and fall of the belly, the chest. As you inhale and exhale. And today offering you the invitation to work with a breath count. So inhaling for a round of 4, a round of 6. And then exhaling for a round of 4, a round of 6. Balancing out the breath. You might even notice the natural pause at the top of the inhale. And then the natural pause at the bottom of the exhale. Not forcing, not pushing the breath. Just observing those natural spaces between each breath. That minute moment of stillness. Using this breath awareness throughout today's practice, coming back to it in points of stillness. Using it as a way to come back to the present moment, come back to the breath. And keeping your eyes closed, eye gaze soft, and lowering your chin towards your chest. Rolling your head right ear to right shoulder. And then as you exhale, rolling your head left ear to left shoulder. Inhaling to move right. Then as you exhale, moving left. Creating space in the back of the neck. And then when your chin next lowers to your chest, lifting your head, keeping your eye gaze soft. And as you inhale, lift the shoulders. Exhale to circle them back and down. So as you inhale, lift. Exhale to roll them back and down. A few more times with your own breath. And then circling the shoulders forwards, inhale to lift. And then as you exhale, rolling forwards. And then keeping your eye gaze soft. And as you inhale, sweep the arms overhead, bringing the backs of the hands together. And then as you exhale, lower the hands forward. Inhale to draw them under, palms facing the sky. And then exhaling to prayer. One full round of breath here. And then repeating this arm flow for 2 more times. So inhale, bring the backs of the hands together. Exhale to lower forwards. Inhale to draw the hands under. Exhaling to prayer. One final time. So as you inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale to lower forwards. Inhale to draw the arms under. And then exhaling to prayer. And then as you open your eyes, place the left hand, reach the right hand over to the left, gazing underneath the upper arm. And then coming back to center and switching sides. And then as you move back to center, coming to all fours. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees hip distance apart, and taking some cat-cows. So as you lower the belly, gaze up. And then exhale to hollow the belly, bring the chin towards the chest. Inhaling through cow. And then as you exhale, moving through cat. You can even add in any other movement. So circling back to child's pose, lowering the shoulders, circling on the torso. Or simply staying with your cat-cows. Few more rounds of breath here. And then coming back to tabletop and take some wrist stretches. So turn your fingers outwards to point them towards the back of the room. And then lean back, keeping the heels of the hands on the mat. And then releasing, place the backs of the hands so the fingers point towards one another, making fists as you bend the elbows, and then inhale to straighten, bringing the fingers out wide. Warming up the wrists. And then coming back to tabletop. This time, lift the right leg behind you. So circling the ankle one direction and then the up. Exhale to curl inwards. So as you inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. 3 more times. Strong breath. Inhale to reach, holding here, or take a hold of the right foot, pressing the foot into the hands. And then lowering down and switching sides. So lift the left leg, circling the ankle. Reaching the right hand as you gaze upwards. Exhale to curl inwards. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. 3 more times. Inhaling to reach, perhaps staying here or take a hold of the left foot. And then lowering down and press into each finger, each thumb. Tap the toes, lift the knees, the hips, downward facing dog. So you can pedal out the heels, you can nod the head yes, shake the head no. Even sway the hips, turning on both feet. Perhaps even lifting alternate leg, bending the knees, stacking the hip. And then press into each finger, each thumb, and lower the knees towards the earth. And then as you inhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Exhale to lower. And then as you inhale, lift. 2 more times. Meeting in downward facing dog, inviting any movements into the body. And then this time, lowering your hips, shoulders above your wrists, plank pose. Inhaling to lift, downward facing dog. So as you exhale, lower. Inhale to lift. 2 more times. Lifting your hips, taking any final movements, and then taking some small steps to the top of the mat, softening the knees, take a hold of either elbow, swaying from side to side. Ragdoll. You can even interlace your hands at the base of the skull to lengthen the back of the neck. And then lowering your hands towards the earth, lift up through the arches of the feet, vertebra by vertebra, coming all the way up to standing. Lifting your shoulders, rolling them back and down, closing down the eyes and bringing your hands to prayer. Just taking a few moments to allow your attention to come back to the breath, come back to the body. Inhaling for your round of 4, your round of 6. Exhaling for the same amount of time. And as you inhale, sweep the arms overhead, gazing upwards. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhaling, flat back, and then big step back to plank, holding for 5 deep breaths. You can lower to your knees if you'd like, pressing the ground away from you. Reaching the heels towards the back of your mat. One more deep breath here. And then as you lower the knees and tuck the toes, slowly lower to the earth. Hands just wide of the mat, spider fingers, inhale to lift. And then as you exhale, fold. Inhaling to lift. And then exhale to fold. One more time. And then hands underneath your shoulders, either coming through plank or child's pose to downward facing dog. And then bringing both feet together, lift the right leg. Reach out through the heel of the right foot. And then as you exhale, bring the right knee to the left elbow, the right, and then inhale to lift. So left elbow, right, inhale to lift. 2 more times. Reaching the right leg and then plant the foot in between the hands, lower the left knee and tuck the toe. Inhale to crescent moon lunge. Sweeping the arms overhead, and then as you exhale, draw the elbows wide, shoulders down your back. Inhale to reach upwards. Exhale to draw. And then as you inhale, reach. This time, bringing both hands overhead, Kali Mudra, interlacing all the fingers except the index, left thumb over right. And then releasing, frame the right foot. So exhale to straighten the right leg. And then as you inhale, moving forwards. Exhale to straighten. And then as you inhale, move forwards. Waking up the hips, the hamstrings, the quads. And then when you next come forward, press into the hands, tuck the left toes, lifting the knee. And then as strong as you can, round in the upper back to lift the right foot. And then inhale to reach the right leg, 3-legged dog. So you can either plant the right foot on the earth, rippling forward to plank, or keep the right leg lifted. Lower through knees down cobra, or chaturanga to upward facing dog. Meeting in downward facing dog. Taking a moment to come to the breath. Perhaps coming back to that breath count. And then switching sides. So feet together, lift the left leg. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Left, inhale to lift. 3 more times. Pressing the ground away from you. Reaching the left leg, plant the foot in between the hands, lower the right knee and tuck the toe. Inhale to sweep the arms overhead. Exhale to draw the elbows wide. So this time, cactus arms. Exhale, forearms together. And then as you inhale, open, gazing up. Exhale, forearms together. Inhale to gaze upwards. Holding, drawing the shoulder blades back and down. And then framing the left foot. Exhale to straighten. And then as you inhale, bend. Moving intuitively with the breath. And then when you next come forward, plant the hands, tuck the back toes, lifting the knees, and then scooping the knee to the chest, rounding in the upper back. Inhale to reach, three-legged dog, moving through your Vinyasa. Arriving in downward facing dog, spread the fingers wide, press into each finger, each thumb. And then gently bend the knees, step, walk, or float to the top of the mat. As you exhale, fold. Inhale to rise upwards. Bringing your hands to prayer, closing down the eyes. Finding that deeper connection to the breath and the body. And then coming back to that arm flow. So as you inhale, sweep the backs of the hands together. Exhale to lower the hands forward. Inhale to draw them under. Exhaling to prayer. Taking one more round. So as you inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale to lower forwards. Inhale to draw the arms under. Exhaling to prayer. And as you open your eyes, bring the big toes touching, bend the knees. Inhale to chair pose. And then placing the right ankle on the left thigh, flex the right foot, perhaps bending the standing leg, coming to a standing pigeon. One more full round of breath here. And then taking a big step back with the right leg, warrior two, reach the left hand in front of you. Left knee over your ankle, and then turning the palm to reach the left hand towards the back of the mat. You can even wrap the right arm around behind you to take a hold of the thigh. Inhaling to move forwards, and then either taking a hug, taking a hold of either shoulder blades, or right arm underneath left, palms facing or back to back for eagle arms. Inhale to gaze up, and then as you exhale, bowing forwards. Relaxing the head, the neck, humble warrior with eagle arms. One more deep breath here. Pressing into the feet, inhale to rise upwards, unraveling, and then straighten the left leg, turning to the right side of the mat, moving to Skandasana. So moving the hips from side to side, You can even have the hands lifted, pointing in front of you. Warming up the hips, the hamstrings, the inner thighs. One more time on either side. And then moving to the back of the mat, big step back to plank. You can have your right leg lifted, moving through your vinyasa. Perhaps taking some sighs out the mouth. And then bringing both feet together, lift the right leg, bending the knees, stacking the hip. You can stay here or move to wild thing, pressing the right foot behind you, lifting the hips. And then moving back to three-legged dog, keeping the right leg lifted. And then warrior two, right foot in between the hands, cartwheeling the arms to reach the right hand towards the back of the mat. And straightening the right leg. Lift up all the toes of the right foot, pressing each one down, and then bringing your right hand to your shin. Either left hand on your waist or reaching towards the ceiling. Triangle pose. You can even lift the right arm almost as if you're holding onto a beach ball. Your choice. And then gazing down at the earth, bending the right knee and move to half moon. So right hand on a block or a book or on the earth, lifting the left leg. So left hand can be on your waist or reaching to the sky. You can even take a hold of the left foot with the left hand. And then landing the left foot behind you, coming to warrior two, turning to the right side. This time bringing the knees above the heels, goddess pose. And coming back to that same movement. So as you inhale, sweep the arms together, back to the hands. Exhale to lower your hands forward. Inhale to draw them under. And then exhaling to prayer. One more time. So inhaling, back to the hands together. Exhale to lower forwards. Inhale to draw them under. Exhaling to prayer. And then straightening the legs, turning to the front of the mat, warrior two, moving through your vinyasa or lifting your hips, downward facing dog. Perhaps taking some sighs out the mouth. And then rippling forward to plank pose, lowering your knees and slowly lower all the way to the earth. Bringing the elbows underneath the shoulders for Sphinx pose. So press into the tops of the feet. Draw the chest through as you gaze up. Moving to a forearm plank. So tuck the toes, press into the forearms, and then as you inhale, lift the hips, creating a slight doming action in the upper back. One more full round of breath here. And then lower the knees, draw the chest through, gazing up. Sphinx pose. And then taking one final round. So either repeat that first option or press into the tops of the feet. Inhale to lift. Strong breath. One more breath here. And then lower your knees, untuck your toes, draw your chest through. Sphinx pose. And then hands underneath your shoulders, either coming through plank or child's to downward facing dog. You can move through a vinyasa if you'd like. We're just taking this time to be present with the breath. And then gently bend the knees, step, walk, or float to the top of the mat. As you exhale, fold. Inhale to rise upwards. Bringing your hands to prayer, closing down the eyes. Returning your attention to the breath. Finding that deeper connection to the breath and the body. And then moving to the other side. So big toes touching, bend the knees, inhale, chair pose. Reaching up to the sky. This time, left ankle on the right thigh. Flex the left foot. Perhaps bending the standing leg. And then big step back, warrior two, reach the right hand in front of you. Gaze at the right index finger. Turning the palm of the right hand to reverse your warrior. And then as you come forward, this time bring the left arm underneath the right. Lift up the arms, broadening across the shoulders. And then exhale to move to humble warrior. Relaxing the head and the neck. One more full round of breath here. Rooting into the feet, inhale to rise upwards. Unraveling, straighten the right leg, Skandasana on the other side. So either tracing the hands on the earth or keeping your hands lifted. Warming up the legs. You can even place the left hand, press the arm into the knee, reaching the opposite hand to the sky. One more time on either side. And then as you turn to the back of the room, big step back to plank. If you're moving through your chaturanga, making sure your shoulders move no lower than your elbows. And then inhale to lift. Coming to downward facing dog. Perhaps sighing out the mouth. And then bringing both feet together, lift the left leg, bend the knees, stack the hip. You can stay here or move to wild thing. planting the left hand, reaching the left leg, and then taking warrior two on the left side. Cartwheel the arms, gazing out at your left index finger, checking your knees above your ankle, and then straightening the leg, triangle pose. Taking whatever variation you'd like. Utthita Trikonasana. And then as you gaze down to the earth, bend the left leg, placing the left hand on your block, your book, or the earth, lifting the right leg, perhaps reaching the right hand to the sky. You can even take a hold of the lifted leg with the right hand. Softly landing your right foot. Inhaling warrior two. This time turn on the left heel to face the side of the mat. And then placing your hands behind you, interlacing them as you gaze up. And then exhale to fold forwards. Reaching the hands behind you, relaxing the head and the neck. Prasarita Padottanasana. And then rooting into the feet, inhale to rise upwards. Turning on your right heel, warrior two. Cartwheeling the arms, moving through your vinyasa. Taking some sighs out the mouth. And then as you gently bend the knees, step, walk, or float to the top of the mat. As you exhale, fold. And either bring the feet hip distance apart to take a hold of either elbow, swaying from side to side. You can even take a hold of the peace fingers, or take a hold of the big toes with the peace fingers, bringing the elbows out to the side, or place the palms of the hands underneath the soles of the feet. Relaxing the head and the neck. And then as you release your hands, you have a few options for this next pose. So bend the left leg as much as you need to place the left hand on the earth. Reach the right hand to the sky. This is your first option. Or you can thread the left arm in between the leg to take a hold of the right. This is your second option. Or you can lift the left foot, coming to bird of paradise pose. And then lowering down. Whenever you're ready, ragdoll. Taking the other side. So bend the right knee as much as you need to place the right hand. Reach the left hand to the sky, gazing at the thumb. This is your first option, or move to the bind. So right arm underneath the knee, wrap the left arm around behind you, gaze over the shoulder, or lifting the right leg. Perhaps straightening the leg. Lowering down whenever you're ready. Softening the knees, swaying from side to side. Back to bent elbows, moving through your vinyasa. And taking any final movements in this last downward facing dog. Passing out the heels, swaying the hips from side to side. That's taking some sighs out the mouth. And then gently bend the knees, step, walk, or float through to seated. And then have the knees gently bent as you lower all the way to the earth. And preparing for bridge pose. So bringing the heels towards the hips, making sure they're hip distance apart, and then place the palms of the hands beside you. And then tuck the tailbone to press the lower back into the earth. And then root into all four corners of the feet. Inhale to lift to bridge pose. You can stay here or interlace your hands underneath you. Or you can support the waist with your hands, resting the upper arms on the earth. Come onto the ball of either foot, stepping them together, lifting one leg. Lowering one leg and moving over to the other side. Lowering the left, releasing the hips, and coming to constructive rest. So feet mat distance, knees knocking together, close down the eyes. Resting between rounds. And then when you're ready, taking 2 more rounds. So either repeating one of the first options for 2 rounds, or you can take wheel pose, or you can take a combination. So lifting whenever you're ready for 5 to 7 breaths. Lowering down. Knees together, feet mat distance, neutralizing the spine. Closing down the eyes, softening the gaze. And then taking one final round. So either bridge or wheel. You can even take a one-legged version of wheel if that's in your practice. So as you inhale, lift the hips. 5 to 7 breaths here. Lowering down, knees together, feet mat distance. Resting, coming back to a neutral spine. And then taking some circles in the air with the wrists. One direction and then the other. You can take a hold of the fingers with one hand, stretching the right wrist. And then changing side. And then releasing, and allow the knees to fall from side to side, almost like windscreen wipers. And then moving to happy baby. So you can take a hold of behind the knees, the calves, or the outside of either foot. Press the lower back into the earth. And then giving yourself a hug, rocking the hips from side to side. And then straightening out the left leg. Reach out through the heel of both feet, drawing the right knee to your chest. Breathing into the belly. And then take the right hand into the right knee and open the knee out to the side. Keep the left hip rooted on the earth. And then coming back to center, take a hold of the knee into the opposite hand. Bring the right arm out to a T and guide the knee over to the opposite side. Both shoulder blades are on the earth. You can even turn over the opposite shoulder to the knee. And then coming back to center and switching sides. So left knee to chest, interlacing the hands on the knee, the shin. And then opening the knee, the leg out to the left side. And then guiding it over to the opposite side, coming to that supine twist. Gaze over the left shoulder. And then as you come back to center, taking any final stretches. You can take a cooling inversion if that's in your practice, so shoulder stand or headstand. Or you can simply invite any final stretches that you'd like, or lift the legs to the side, or to the ceiling, I should say. This is a really nice variation of shoulder stand, a little bit more restorative, but with all the same benefits. So taking your time to choose your final closing pose, and perhaps staying for 5, 7, or 10 breaths. Perhaps noticing the movements of the breath in the body once more. Noticing the subtle sensations of the breath. And then whenever you're ready, moving to your variation of Shavasana, our final closing pose. So So you might be lying down on the earth, like so. You can even lie on your side, or you can lie on your front. So whatever is comfortable for you. You can even place cushions, or if you have a bolster at home, underneath your knee. Just taking your time to find your point of comfort. And then you might move the head gently from side to side. Perhaps moving the jaw gently from side to side. Finding a sense of softness to the face. And relaxing the jaw. And then feeling the earth rising up to support your body. Feeling the ground supporting the entire body. And then letting go of any thoughts, any feelings, any memories or beliefs. Allowing yourself to just be. Allowing yourself to be in your awareness. Here is a quote from the Book of Rest. The times in our life when we feel most rested are the times when we are not wishing to change any particular aspect of our experience. And herein lies the problem. The times we feel most rested are the times when we need rest the least. When we're overwhelmed by our experiences and our feelings, our desire to control them becomes stronger, and we rest less. We are restless. Bringing your awareness back into the body. Deepening the inhale, the exhale. Moving the fingers, the toes, the ankles, and the wrists. Perhaps turning your head from side to side. Perhaps taking a full body stretch. And then when you're ready, rolling over to one side. Taking a few moments here. And pressing up to seated, eyes closed and hands in prayer. And taking a deep inhale to exhale. Inhale through your nose and exhale. Inhaling through your nose and exhale. And I thank you for taking the time to practice today. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I'll be next teaching for Trika at 4:45 on Tuesday, and that'll be a Vinyasa flow class. So I hope you have a lovely, restful Sunday. Bye.